Last night they were talking tops 9-foot surge. The house that I'm in went through Charlie. I figured new roof on. I'm good. We'll hang in there. But now wake up in the morning and it's 19 feet. So it kind of changes my reality. There's no choice now. It's late in the day, and yeah, I screwed up, but gotta do what I gotta do with the reality that I have, which is get the hell out of that house.
Back now with more of our breaking coverage of Hurricane Ian making landfall and leaving devastation on the Gulf Coast of Florida. Joining me now is the mayor of St. Petersburg, Florida, Ken Welch. And Mayor Welch, thank you for being here. You just heard that gentleman saying that he's ridden them out before. And I live there. People ride it out. And you think I can handle this because you're thinking wind. I think too few people think water, and water is so damaging. Just give us what you think the damage is going to look like when that water recedes in your city.
Well, Joy, it's good to be with you. And as you know, having lived in Florida, you run from the water, you hide from the wind.
Yeah.
And with that, Ian had stayed on his projected track and hit Pinellas County and St. Pete head on, we would have been looking at 10 feet of surge on top of 10 to 15 inches of rain, and no infrastructure in the world can handle that. And so we were blessed that it didn't hit us, but our prayers go out to our neighbors to the south in the Sarasota, Venice, Fort Myers area. But we're still not done. We still have another 6 hours or so. We're on the outer bands of the storm, and we will experience tropical storm force winds, maybe hurricane force winds, and another 10 to 15 inches of rainfall. So we're still not out of the woods yet in St. Petersburg.
Not by any means. 125 mile an hour winds still whipping down there. The governor has asked for a full, complement of federal help, which he should. It is the right thing to do. I mean, I think we're lucky that he is the governor version of Ron DeSantis rather than the congressman who back in the day did not want to send that kind of money to Hurricane Sandy victims in New York. He's definitely learned a lesson. Talk about what that federal money could do, because St. Pete is, like you said, not out of the woods yet. You're probably going to need it.
Absolutely. And I had the opportunity to speak with President Biden and the FEMA secretary yesterday, and they pledged their total support, anything we need, as well as our state government. It's good to see folks working together for the benefit of our community, because lives are literally at stake. And certainly our community and certainly those communities to the south will need a lot of support going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I should mention it wasn't just Ron DeSantis. Marco Rubio was on the same page as far as funding. You're definitely going to need it. Talk about sort of what you think are going to be the immediate needs of folks in your city.
Well, the impacts to our water system is first and foremost. We ask folks to be prepared with food, water, medication for 7 days. But just looking at the video of what's happening in South Florida, there's going to be a lot of damage to the infrastructure. I believe the potable water system, the sewage system, the reclaimed water systems, I think, are all going to be overwhelmed. And so they'll need help with the basics, with food and water. And for our community, we'll get to clean up right away. But one thing I want to stress, as you well said, a lot of folks make it through the storm, but then they have injuries or death because they try to get back on the streets too quickly, and they step on a down wire. They try to drive their vehicle through the water. They use a generator incorrectly. And so we're asking our folks in St. Pete and Pinellas just to shelter in place for tonight, let our crews get out and clean up first thing tomorrow, and get power restored to more than 100,000 people who are without power right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And people forget that, the aftermath includes, if your power goes out, everything in your fridge is bad. Everything in your fridge goes bad. That means whatever food you thought you had, you don't. And so it becomes an immediate need for sustenance, for all of the basics. If you didn't store water before, if you didn't make it to Publix before they had to run on all the water, you're in trouble. It's a lot. It's a lot. So a lot of support is going to be needed. And thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, for taking your time. St. Petersburg Mayor Ken Welch, we really appreciate you. All right. Thinking of y'all down there tonight. All right, up next, the challenges millions of Floridians are facing after evacuating their homes. We'll be right back.